Good day, students. Welcome to our final lab sessions for the course Digital Logic Design. My name is Ali Rahman, and these sessions are specifically designed for the students of DCS 3A. These sessions basically are arranged in a way that we will cover the basic concepts for the project labs, since the last three labs are reserved for the projects. So this is the video tutorial in which we will be discussing why the projects are assigned to the students and how projects cycle execution will be executed and how the projects are implemented. We will be having the general discussion regarding this specific topic. So first of all, we will be having the introduction to these sessions, and then we will discuss the project allocation and explanation for the students, how the students will carry out the projects and how the students will implement those projects, with some general introduction to those projects as well. Well, as far as the reference seedings and acknowledgements are concerned, the digital design with introduction to Verilog HDL, most of the description can be found related to the project from the book. At the same time, internet is also recommended if students want to surf or to browse for the projects. They are welcome. So to start with, basically, so these sessions are specifically reserved for the students to get the experience of designing and implementing basic digital designs as a project using gate level modeling in Verilog HDL. So what students have to do is they have to implement the assigned projects by using gate level modeling and in Verilog HDL, and they're going to simulate their designs and verify the functionality of the design by performing the functional simulations, and they have to submit the report at the end of the session, so that student could get familiar with the project cycle, how the projects are being implemented and how the digital designs are being conceived and implemented in a way. So for this purpose, what we have done is that we have arranged the students to form the groups. So we have basically the decision for the groups are being left to the students. So for that purpose, the students were asked to form the groups of their choice, and later the projects were assigned to them. So these projects are the basic projects. So some examples of a small scale, so that student can have the hands-on experience of implementing those projects, and they can have a better idea how the digital designs are implemented by using Verilog HDL. So at the end of the session, what we will be getting, basically we will be getting the deliverable, that is basically the students are required to submit a group report after successful completion of the project, and otherwise they also have to submit the report if they are unable to perform uh, while implementing the project. So they have to submit the report in each case, in every case. So the report must contain the following. The report must contain an abstract that basically describes the project, and then they must provide an introduction to the project, and then afterwards they're going to explain the project and going to discuss the implementation. In the explanation, they are going to provide the block diagrams as well as the logic diagrams, truth tables, any function tables if they are required, and they are going to explain the project so that they should know now how they are implementing the projects. And at the end, they will provide Verilog codes as well as the timing diagrams and references. If they are consulting some book or some internet resource, they have to provide the references as well. So how the students will going to implement these projects, basically we have to follow the design cycle, basically the project design cycle, in a similar way in which we have followed the design cycle for the digital modules as far as the combinational logic and sequential logic is concerned. What we have implemented and how we have implemented that stuff, or we're going to implement the projects, is that first of all some requirement specification is being provided to the student. That is the first step, and that we have done by providing the titles of the project, and as well as now this video will also contain some brief introduction to each project that are being assigned to the students. After the requirement specification, students have to identify the course, the basically they have to identify what are the ports that are used to communicate to the module, and how these inputs and outputs are basically related to each other. So they have to provide some sort of truth table or boolean function that relates your output to the input. And once they have done that, they have to implement that, first of all, by providing the block diagram. First of all, they have to consider the block diagrams or logic diagrams that are required. And once they've done that and they have identified the interconnections that are being required between the modules and how many modules that are required to implement that project, the next thing is to design those modules separately, and at the end they have to integrate all the modules so that the product or the project can work properly. And they have to simulate the design, and if there is any sort of error that is occurred, or they have to troubleshoot their project, and they have to simulate the project by providing the timing simulations in order to verify their designs. So let us first see the projects that are being assigned with the general introduction to the projects. So starting with the first group, that consists of Ahmed, Jawad, Anis, and Subhan. The project that has been assigned to you is implementation of the 8-bit adder subtractor, and basically this is a circuit that has the capability to subtract or add two numbers of 8 bits each, and the circuit should be capable enough to perform addition as well as subtraction at the same time. So what we have studied in our course, that we have designed the adder subtractor for 4 bits, and now they have to upscale that to implement the adder subtractor with 8 bits. So what they have to do is basically they have to implement the full adders first, and if after the implementation of full adders, they have to instantiate their modules in such a way that they can implement a mechanism that has the capability to add or subtract two numbers, and they have to decide a control input that is responsible to identify which operation we are performing on the data inputs. So that control signal will decide either we are performing the addition operation or subtraction operation. So what you have to do is, first of all, identify your inputs and outputs, then construct a block diagram, and then see the requirements, that how many modules that are required in order to implement the 8-bit adder and subtractor. For the subtraction purpose, you have to perform the 2's complement, because subtraction is a case of addition, and you have to add the 2's complement of the subtrahend to the number so that the subtraction can be performed. So this is the basic idea. So you have to upscale that 4-bit adder subtractor to the 8-bit adder subtractor, and this is the basic project in which you will get the hands-on experience of instantiating the modules, and how you're gonna interconnect those in order to perform your project. Now coming to the second group, that is the group of Zishan, Azib, and Muntazir. What they have to do is they have to implement a 5-bit comparator circuit for comparing two numbers for equality, greater than and less than condition. So basically what we have studied in our course was a comparator circuit for comparing the two numbers of 4 bits each. So we are upscaling that and implementing a 5-bit comparator. So that is a comparator circuit that consists of 3 outputs, that one output for equality, one output for greater than, and the last output for the less than conditions, and two inputs of 5 bits each. So instead of comparing two numbers of 4 bits each, you have to compare two numbers of 5 bits each. So whatsoever you have to do is, first of all, identify the boolean functions for the equality, the greater than and less than condition, and you have to use gate level modeling in order to implement that comparator circuit. Now coming to the third project, that the group members are Faiza, Furqan, and Bilal, and Shahid. So what you have to do is you have to implement a 4-bit multiplier circuit for multiplying two numbers of 4 bit each. So in our example, we have discussed multiplier circuits for multiplying two numbers of 4 bits and 3 bits size. But here we are making the size of two numbers uniform, and you have to implement that. So what you have to do is, first of all, see how many modules that are required, how many AND gates that are required to provide the partial products terms, and how many binary adders are required in order to implement those partial products. You have to identify that first of all, and then you have to implement that by using gate level modeling. The fourth group that consists of Kadir, Sabir and Isma. What you have to do is you have to implement a serial ladder circuit. While we were studying the sequential logic design, we have discussed the serial ladder circuit that has the capability to add two numbers serially. So what you have to do is you have to implement that. So first of all, what you need to implement are the registers. That are the shift registers and also the full ladder circuit in order to perform the serial addition operation, and you have to make interconnections with the help of some sequential modules and this full ladder circuit, so that you have the capability to add two numbers serially. So you have to implement the same example which we have studied in our theory portion. There is no change in that. Coming to the fifth group, that consists of Munib, Noman, Hashim and Hasib. And what you have to do is you have to implement the universal shift register basically. So that shift register that has the capability to perform left shift, to perform right shift, to perform load operation and to perform the parallel operation, parallel data shifting operation. So what example which we have studied in our theory portion, you have to implement the same example in your lab as a project. The most important thing is how to generate the clock and how you provide the clock to your system. So your lab 6 that consists of the clock implementation that will be useful for all those students that are working on sequential logic. Coming to the sixth group, that consists of Kirat, Muzammil, Rabia and Tokir. What you have to do is you have to implement a traffic controller to manage traffic lights. So basically, and the output of the system are the three lights indicator, for one for the red, one for the yellow and one for the green. And basically you can conceive that how traffic signals are operated. Basically the red, yellow and green lights, the transition between these lights are dependent upon a time delay or the time duration. So how you will implement that? Basically you have to implement a counter basically. So with the help of a counter and some comparator circuits, you have to implement that traffic controller. And the transition between the lights and the delay between the lights is up to you. How many seconds you want to delay, or how many seconds you require for the transition from one light to another light. And you're going to simulate that traffic controller in order to manage traffic lights. So if you see any sort of difficulty while implementing that, we will be having a discussion session next week. So we will be discussing those, and if you got any queries, you can ask those queries on those discussion sessions. Now coming to the seventh project, the group members are Saad, Aiza, Abdul Mukid and Rafe, and they have to implement a 3-decade BCD counter. Basically that BCD counter that has the capability to count from 000 till 999. They have to implement that, and we have discussed all the theoretical elements and all the design aspects in our theory portion. The eighth group consists of Qasim, Ahmed, Huzaifa and Abdullah. And what they have to do is they have to implement a simple 8-bit register with parallel load. That 8-bit register that has the capability to parallel load the data into the registers. So they have to implement that, and we have discussed that in detail in our theory session. Now coming to the ninth group, that consists of Shahriyar, Misbah, Anila and Sarmad. And what they have to do is they have to implement a BCD to ASCII code converter. So the system that accepts a BCD number as at its input. So the input is basically a 4-bit BCD number, and converts that BCD number into the ASCII code. So ASCII code is a 7-bit ASCII code. We are not performing extended ASCII, so we are working on a basic ASCII. So what they have to do is basically they have to implement a mechanism that accepts a BCD number at its input and convert it into the ASCII code. Uh, you can use the ASCII table for your help, which we have discussed while discussing the digital ports. That would be beneficial for you. Now coming to the last group, that consists of Hassan and Umar. and what you have to do is you have to implement a 4-bit sequential counter, which we have discussed in our theory portion. So these are the simple basic projects uh, that are being assigned to you, so that you can implement those projects and you can have the hands-on experience of implementing those projects using Verilog HCL, and you have to perform the gate level modeling using Verilog HCL. As far as the deadline is concerned, you have to submit your report uh, before August 10, 2020, and uh, afterwards in our next session after August 10, we will be having the demonstration and viva for the project. So student, this is all for the session. For the next session, no separate video will be uploaded for the last session, so this would be considered as a guideline for the remaining sessions as well. And if you got any query regarding your project design, and if you got any sort of problems while implementing those designs, we can have the discussions in our discussion sessions. So I request all of you to properly attend those discussion sessions, and those sessions are specifically reserved for you so that your queries can be entertained, and if you got any problem while implementing the project, that can be solved in those sessions. With that ending note, we conclude our labs. This was all for our online lab sessions. I hope so you will be able to perform the gate level modeling and simulations using Verilog HCL, and you can implement any digital design by using the same concepts. We can also use data flow modeling and behavioral modeling, but since we are lacking time, so we can discuss those uh, methodologies separately if any student is interested in learning those techniques as well.